Welcome to the Winds of Chaos, the Dungeons & Dragons campaign where you can influence the course of the game. You can harness the Winds of Chaos, this nefarious force of change sweeping across the lands of Gondara, by donating bits during the stream to help or hinder our heroes. For 300 bits, our heroes may find a useful, mundane, non-magical item. For 400 or 500 bits, you can buff the monsters that our heroes are facing with a minor or major mutation, respectively. Special thanks to our community's very own Bo the Distance for creating the random monster mutation table that we roll on for these redeems. For 600 bits, you can compel a player character's flaw. 700 bits grants inspiration to one player character. That's a reroll of a d20 during a clutch moment. And for 800 bits, you can make Flutter die roll on the Wild Magic Surge table, our community's favorite. Flutter's character, Kiona, is a wild magic sorcerer. That means that she doesn't have full control over her arcane powers, and every now and then, well, you'll just have to wait and see what happens. Finally, subscribers to the Dungeon Masters channel, that's Twitch TV/GhostPepper, can harness the Winds of Chaos to blow a custom NPC or magic item of appropriate level into the party's path. Please DM me on Discord for more info. Oh, one last thing. If you're a regular supporter of this campaign and redeeming or subscribing or things like that are things that you do fairly regularly, please consider subscribing to our monthly coffee plan. We use the proceeds from that to go directly towards funding improvements to the game, music, artwork, subscriptions to different services that make our game that much better. Any monthly supporters get a free Major Monster Mutation, Wild Magic Surge, custom NPC, or magic item once per month. We really appreciate all of our coffee subscribers, all of our bits redeemers, and every single one of you who watches the game. Please enjoy the show. Yeah.
You guys, okay, all right. I don't think they heard that. You want to say that again?
No, I don't.
GhostPepper was saying how long he just goes on and on and on in that video right before we go live. Oh my gosh, you guys, with all the subs, you
welcome,
are
everybody.
so sweet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All of you are amazing. Genovian, GhostPepper, Shagraz, Squiggy, you guys.
Read my resub message.
Uh-oh. Oh no, no! Are we rolling?
What's it say?
What would we search right now, you guys?
Let's see what it says.
It is. Oh, it would be a race change. Oh, it's too bad.
Oh no.
That's a 30. That's
for
a
that.
30.
Oh my gosh.
My goodness. We would have teleported up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space.
Oh dang. Oh dang.
And changed races while we did it. Oh man.
Let's see what you would have changed race to. Somebody get ready to clip it for if
in case.
for if it's a change
Just in
to
case.
one of the really rare ones that Bo has been looking forward to.
All right, I have my thing back here. All right. This is a 4, which is a gnome.
That's a common one. Boring. Boring.
It really doesn't like the really rare ones, man.
Give us Tortle.
Everybody wants a turtle.
I know. Everyone wants the turtle, but it never happens.
What? What is going on? Hive Train, you guys! Oh my god. You guys.
Hype train. Gosh.
You're gonna make
Deal
me
with
cry.
Pardon
I
me.
hate you. I love you all.
Pardon
but
me.
I can't.
Oh, gosh, guys, I had such a long
Look,
day today. I
everyone,
just got,
hashtag make Flutter cry. Get bits and donos.
hashtag make Flutter cry.
Sorry, Ghost, I cut you off.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I just got back from coaching rugby, so man, I'm
Oh.
pooped. I just came back out of the cold, ate a few bites of dinner, and then came down here to
Oh
set
my
up.
gosh.
Luckily, because last week's session was kind of a little bit of a mess, and we didn't end up playing all of it. I was already well planned for tonight. So
right. I apologize, you guys. Last week was such a crazy. Like the internet here was gone for like 4 hours. It just stopped, and I was like freaking out trying to make it start back up again. But it was actually like a citywide or whatever area-wide outage, and I was like, "Oh my god,
That's so weird.
I know, right? Like when does that happen actually these days? Ghost Pepper.
are you Shakras is judging the number of bites I had for dinner?
Oh, Squeaky
No,
said
not
a
a
Wild
10.
Magic Sorcerer, but every time they roll for Wild Magic Surge, the player has to drink a Surge. Surge was a
Oh my
great drink.
God.
I used to love Surge.
Yeah,
Isn't
but
that
I
like
can't
isn't that an
anymore.
energy drink?
50
It
gra- no, it was a
it
soda
like
back in the day.
It was a soda, but it was like the pre-energy drink soda. It
Right.
It's like
it was
50
it
grams
would
of caffeine or something.
Yeah.
it would be classified as an energy drink today, but
Probably.
energy drinks as such did not exist
Mhm.
when Surge was around,
I
right?
clearly figured out what's going
Is
on.
it still around?
I think they still make
Oh.
it. I think they like re-released it a couple years ago or something.
I think they did, yeah. Honey Else used to be 10 years old. This is true. They did re-release Surge. I drank so
They
much
did
of it.
re-release Surge.
Hi,
Oh, yeah?
Vinyl, my
Vinyl.
love, how are you?
Vinyl, give your love to your husband. We are all
We miss
very
him
sad
so
that he couldn't
much.
join us. Yeah,
Yeah.
we want him to play.
Yeah. I gave him a
pat. Good. And tucked him
Good,
into bed.
good.
Good.
I'm glad he's taken well care of by you.
I'm sitting here. I was so looking forward to it. I skipped home from my garage to my house, and I was like, Collie's gonna play with us today.
Yeah.
Nope.
I was hoping. Oh man. Oh goodness.
He skipped his 10th bite too, and no Collie. What's even the point?
Gee, thanks, Chakra.
I know he wanted to play. He came in and
did.
chatted with us a little bit on
He
the voice
did.
chat. I know he really wanted to play today.
Yeah, we're very
Um,
disappointed
so
that
it's a
he's still
shame.
sick.
It's a
We
shame that
obviously
he
want
couldn't.
him to get better quickly, more quickly than he has.
He was like, yeah, defeated.
yeah.
Defeated. All right.
Speaking
of
Ghost
defeated-
and I do skip around like children sometimes, crew.
We do.
we
do.
get together and it
And
turns into the juvenile show.
when we get together, it's like just the blind leading the blind.
It
It's like
is.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah,
when we're
it's
together.
definitely like, this is a great idea. Yes, it is. No, it's not.
Oh, when we took that Segway tour, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, you guys.
We
you
took that
guys are
Segway tour. We
amazing.
were the absolute worst. We were,
Yeah, it
somebody.
was-
The tour guide was trying to tell us something historic about this or that building, and we're here like, I wonder how fast we can high five each other at. You go to that end of the plaza, I'll go to this end, and we'll drive by. And we'll high five each
Sounds
other.
Great. So we did repeatedly until we decided we thought we might decide to just grab onto each other and try to spin. At which
Yeah.
point, maybe our adult selves
That's-
kicked in and we're like, yeah, probably don't want to do that.
Okay. Well, I've got a roleplay warm-up question for us tonight. And any of you folks in chat who has a character that you would like to answer for, especially if it's a character who's guested in this campaign, please feel free to offer your answer to that. So tonight's roleplay warm-up question is, if your character could know one thing about their future, what would it be? So they get like they get like a minute with a fortune teller or something like that. If they could know one thing about their future, what would it be?
Do they know if it's true or if it's like a lie? Or maybe
Also,
a
we
lie.
need a.
Wouldn't it be true
we
if
need
you
an
could know one
answer.
thing you would want to know about your future? It
Yeah,
would
but
be
if
a
it's
truth,
like
wouldn't
some shady fortune teller, like how do you know that it's true?
Mm,
Right?
Oh.
No, it's real. It's a
Okay.
real fortune teller.
Okay.
It's a fortune teller who's in like a suit and a tie and hands you a business card. They have like their fortune telling degree up on the wall behind them.
My name is Joe Fortune.
Shograz, we need an answer for Shiraz Shadeheart, because we're getting this tonight. We're getting some big Shiraz Shadeheart
We
lore.
are.
Well, we started to last time.
We
started
did.
to last time. So while you're thinking about and folks in chat are composing their answers to their roleplay warm-up question of the week, I have some thank yous to distribute. Thank you number 1 goes to our coffee subscribers. They are Bard Owl, ATM Zero, and Bruce Campbell Soup. Thank you so much, all of you, for your contributions to our campaign and your ongoing support. We really, really, really appreciate it. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we do, including the music you're listening to right now, including some of the mechanics in the Roll20, like dynamic lighting, that we would not be able to do without your ongoing support. So thank you so much, everybody, for contributing to that coffee subscription. We really appreciate it. Second thank you is for Starborn Striker and Bo the Distance for always being our rules lawyers when we need them, helping us out with some rules to help us make our rulings. And finally, and I see that she's DM'd me just as I got to her. Thank you so much, Vinyl Stencil, for helping us to organize the bits redeems. So if you do any of the bits redeems from the little instructional video that you saw at the very beginning of stream, or if you use the WOC menu command, is that right? Or WOC bits, something like that. Anybody who contributes bits during the stream can have an impact on gameplay, and Vinyl is the one who kind of organizes that, compiles it, and sends it to me in a Discord DM so that I can keep the game rolling without stopping to ask chat 100 questions. Lastly, thank you to all of you just for being here. Thank you. We really love sharing this campaign with our various communities. We really love having all of you folks around. So thank you so much for stopping by tonight. Roleplay warm-up question. If your character could know one thing about their future, what would it be? We've got right away, Megan's ready with Ephema. Wants to know if her new son, Alfie, is going to be happy in his life. Aw, that's so sweet. Good old Alfie. Darfin doesn't want to know anything about his future. Stay away from him with that. Oh boy. Genovian's Dungeons and Dragons character wants to know if he will have a happy marriage. Honestly, my unnamed prince, I still have not named and built for you. Just wanted to have a happy marriage considering it's arranged. Aw. I cannot wait to get that NPC into the game. That's going to be so
May
much
take
fun.
3 years, but we'll get there.
No. No. It's gonna happen. Alvin would want to know how many kids he's gonna have, mostly because his wife seems intent on repopulating the entire abandoned village, and he's a little overwhelmed. Yikes. It's hard work. Dietrich would just want to know if he gets rich. Shiraz Shadeheart just wondering when Mazur will finally give in to temptations and take Shadeheart up on his generous offers with a little glowworm wiggle. And Mazda says no thanks. Barden wants to know if there will be ale. That's right. Vinyl's one and only D&D adventure was playing Barden from Vermintide. And that was a ton of fun that we had while they were up here visiting. We got Mr. Roboto to come over a couple of times and play with us. And
Yeah, I'm jealous that I couldn't be there, man. That was probably so much fun.
it was a lot of fun. There were all the Barden lines. All the Barden lines. Every time we found some stairs, it was these stairs go up. My current character would probably want to know if he'll ever make his mother proud. His mother was slain on the side of the road trying to protect her son from getting his horns poached, which she unfortunately passed trying to prevent. Shoot. That sucks, man. All right. What about Mazra?
Probably just if she'll find her mother. Because
Okay.
if the answer is no, she will stop looking.
Wow. That's just like that.
If it's true,
Right.
she will take the appropriate time to mourn, of course. But
Would she though? I feel like
yes, she actually cares about some people.
I know, but that she doesn't feel emotion. She doesn't let her emotions
That's not
like
true.
actually come out. She feels them, but she doesn't let them.
Fair. Fair.
Oh, Herbie. All right. What about Kiona?
I think Kiona wants only to know if she's going to be happy in the future.
This is Dungeons and Dragons. There is no happiness in your character's future.
Well, that would say a lot then, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Vinyl, thank you for hanging out. Enjoy your lurk. Enjoy being in and out.
Take care of our boy.
Yeah. All right.
Not
And so,
D&D.
without further ado, we're gonna resume last week's session. So last time we left off, you were going about your plans to infiltrate the Vintners Guild mansion, where you believe you will find evidence that you can trace back to find the identity of Arusian, the mastermind, the puppet master behind all the evil things that have been happening in Cormantia and surrounding environs. One lead that you tugged on straight away was Shiraz Shadeheart, who you know has black market dealings all over the city, all over the country, and you surmised that some of these artifacts that are illegally traded in secret at the Vintners Guild mansion may have passed through his hands, and he may have some information for you on how to get in. Turns out he actually did. He had a little bit of a map that he could show you. That I think we were in the process of just showing off
We
when
were just
when
looking
things
at it
crashed.
when everything crashed. Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe he was setting up a D's nuts joke when the internet crashed as well.
In true fashion.
I don't know if that I don't know if that made it on stream, but there was a joke about his friend Eden that got teed up,
Right.
and then
right.
things crashed.
Yeah.
It was that joke that crashed the stream.
It was. That was
Yeah,
it.
maybe.
Our ISP was just like, yeah, no.
No. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, if you I'm on
That's the
completely the wrong. Yeah,
There we
there it
go.
is. That's the right one. Okay. So here is. I gotta change the music in a second. But there's the map.
Right.
Going, and he was just showing this off to you. This sort of hand drawn sketch of the mansion grounds. And yeah, he kind of didn't get a chance to proceed to really talk about this. So he points out some key locations to you. Now they don't give me full access to their mansion. They keep quite a lot of secrets to themselves. These guilds operate sometimes more like secret societies. Even if they suborn the services of outsiders, they don't let them see much. I've only ever been allowed on the main floor of the mansion, so I don't know what else is there, either above or below. But you can see here where all of the sub-buildings are located, what they are, so that you know whether you're walking into a warehouse or a guard post. And you can also see on the main floor where the dining room, the great hall, the ballroom, and the library are.
That's a lot of good information, Mr. Sheetheart. Thank you.
I'm full of good information, among other things.
Indeed. Kiona is pestered by the presence of Tisiphone guarding the door. She really wants to talk to Mr. Shadeheart about the things that are going on in her head and all of that. But Tisiphone specifically requested last week that she not bring those things up with Mr. Shadeheart.
Yeah, Tisiphone is just standing by the door as you sort of look back at her, her chin up, her finger ending in one long red painted nail, absent-mindedly tapping her arm as she takes in the proceedings with an impenetrable stare.
Kiona kind of gets caught in that stare a little bit. And she has maybe a small epiphany. That
An epiphany about Tisiphone?
about yes,
A spiffany?
a Tisiphone epiphany. She has she realizes that I don't know. I think that there's a moment where she thinks that it might be the guy in the book because he says that he asked her to do it. And it would connect the dot for her from that before when she knew there was something up but that she couldn't figure out what it was. And so and Tisiphone's behavior before they walked into this office makes her very like So I'm sorry, this is a lot of exposition just to say that she's gonna kind of look at Mazra and be like, Mazra, could we have a word? And like pull her aside.
Okay.
Do you want some privacy? You can go out and use the kitchen if you like.
Well, maybe that'd be better. So she grabs Mazra by the arm and just like yanks her out the door.
Tisiphone stands aside and adds to what you said, Kiona. Yes, considering it is Mr. Shadeheart's office.
And as she steps out the door, she's gonna also pull the ring off. And she's gonna... I think we need to ask Tisiphone.
About what?
The book.
You think she might know something about it?
I do. You remember how I told you that Mr. Shadeheart has that memory problem?
I remember.
Well, the guy in the book says that he asked somebody to make him forget or something. I have it written down somewhere. But it does feel very close. And the way that she says that we can't talk to him about that stuff, I don't know. There's just something to it.
Well, it's always seemed like there's something weird between them. But, I mean, I will trust your judgment if you think it's the right thing to do. The only thing I would warn against is just, I don't know if she'll try to take the book from us, but if that happens, I would just do what we have to do to keep her from getting it.
Right.
And I also think we should finish whatever our business is with him first before we talk to her.
Right. Well, I think ultimately our business will be with him, but I just don't know how we go about doing that. I think
Well,
we gotta...
one problem at a time.
Right. I think we gotta talk to her first.
Well, with this floor plan, did we get everything we wanted to know out of him yet?
Unless he's got something else in there hidden up his sleeve, but I'm not sure how many more favors we can dole out
Well,
these days.
let me at least ask him a couple more things, and then
Sure.
we can speak with her if you want.
Mm-hmm. And with that, they can go back in the office.
Okay. Yeah, so you head back inside the office, and as you re-enter, pardon me, I need to find my window again. As you re-enter, you see that Tisiphone has moved over beside Shadeheart's desk. She kind of has one hand on it, the other hand kind of loosely hanging from her hip. And she turns her attention back towards the door, as does Shadeheart, as you walk in, and you get the impression that they had both been in conversation themselves when you entered.
I just had a few more questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course. If I could give a piece of advice, maybe you should talk to each other about what you want to say to somebody, like, before you go and visit them. It's a little bit weird that you guys
there was
keep
only just something
like
that came
leaving
up.
the room. Okay. I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but yeah, you go ahead.
So could you tell us anything about, are there guards? Did you see any guards when you were there? Do they wander around?
There are guards all over. There are some that are posted in certain stations at key points around the mansion grounds, and there are others that patrol.
Loyal to
I
the
would say that
Vinters,
there
do you
are...
think?
Oh, quite loyal. The Vintners, they make sure that they hire loyal men. I would say, though, that there are far more stationary guards than patrols. I would say that you could count on there being maybe 2 outside patrols, 1 indoor patrol in the main mansion at any given time.
Good to know. All right. Do you know what this chapel is to?
I'm sorry?
This chapel.
Yeah, what about it?
Do you know who it is for?
Oh, it's a standard mansion estate chapel. It's dedicated to pretty much anybody and everybody.
So possibly not used much.
Possibly.
And this tomb.
There
Oh, go ahead.
are at the tomb and the storehouse. I've marked those with a little bit of a star there, because in those areas there are some subterranean passages that you might be able to use to move around the property.
Good to know.
That's very good to know.
I've used them for moving goods around.
You don't happen to have your own people down in there guarding things?
No. The vintners are a little bit too familiar with me. You know the old saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. They keep their friends pretty close.
Any traps we can expect down there?
Oh, I'm sure.
Good to know.
Well, I think we can put this to good use and take care of some of our own reconnaissance.
Might be a plan. I've heard tell that there are quite a few rumored secret passages, hidden chambers and the like all over the mansion. Certainly in the tomb, it's not a straight shot through the underground tunnels.
Right.
No surprise there.
You'll have to find your own way in.
I was just making a mental note.
Okay. Is there anything else, Mazra?
I think you mentioned that they take place in whenever they're doing things with these artifacts. Is it on the main floor or is it in the basement?
Oh, it's definitely not on the main floor. There are some shady auctions that happen in the ballroom, and then some even shadier auctions that take place elsewhere. I'm not sure where, though. Never been allowed to look at that part of the mansion.
All right.
You have to think of anything else at the moment?
Well, I think that probably concludes our business with you for the moment, Mr. Shadehart, but we may be back soon.
Yes, well, best of luck.
Thank you. Miss, Tisiphone, might we speak with you a moment?
She looks taken aback by that. as you and she have a long-running animosity with each other, and you've never before let on the idea of wanting to speak with her. She doesn't look particularly thrilled by the prospect either. All right.
Thank you. And she will step out the door into the kitchen.
Tisiphone shoots a look back at Shadeheart before she moves out as well.
What's all this business about you not wanting me to talk about those things with him?
What things?
I think you know what things. Magic. To start.
Isn't it enough that I've asked you not to?
I have something that I think you should see. But I will not relinquish ownership of this item.
All right, what is it?
She's gonna kind of look at Mazra as she pulls the book out of the bag of holding.
And Tisiphone visibly... Well, roll an insight check. And we'll see what she visibly...
Oh, God. Please. Please. Please roll 20. Oh!
Wow.
Oh!
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Yes.
Tisiphone visibly bristles at the sight of the book. Her back straightens. You see a flash of hellfire in her eyes. And just briefly, you see those same eyes dart to the side in a furtive glance towards Shadeheart's office door before locking back on the book, then at your face. You put that book back in that bag and never bring it here again.
On one condition. You tell me what this is
What?
about.
I cannot tell you.
Why?
Do you know anything about infernals?
No, but I need to know.
I don't choose not to tell you. Although if it was my choice, I still wouldn't tell you. I cannot tell you. And I cannot tell you why I cannot tell you.
Then point me in a direction to find someone who can.
Find it on your own. Get that book out of here. If you ever bring it anywhere near Mr. Shadeheart,
Really?
really,
Kiona wants to Misty step into the office. Can I do that?
what post the text of Misty Step in the
Oh, we're
chat.
tempting
think-
Faye here.
I think you need to be able to see. I think you need to be able to see the point.
isn't it?
Yeah.
That
yeah.
you can see.
The door's closed.
Okay, then she's gonna
The door's
dimension doors
closed.
then.
Roll initiative.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
she will because she didn't probably have it all the way out of the bag, so she'll just shove it right back in the bag. And then she wants to, yeah, that's what she wants to do. If that's what we're doing, that's what we're doing. Fine.
Majra has been standing to the side this whole time. Is she included in this? Because she's just like,
roll initiative just so that we have you.
Okay.
Just so
Oh,
that we
sorry, I
have you on
didn't-
the order.
I didn't click my token. Sorry.
Is this any music?
There is light music happening, but not.
That is not the kind of music I want. Okay. Oh God. This is what I was afraid was going to happen.
The music or the events?
Yes.
You know, Majra was very happy to let Kiona take point on this.
And then, yeah, well.
She learned
yeah.
a lesson today.
That's why Kiona asked her first.
She's like, I don't want to think the worst of you, but you're not making it easy.
Okay.
Well, because
Mazza, you did not click your
I'm
your
sorry.
token.
You want me
Kiona
to roll
cannot
again, so it's
in her.
No, just keep the we'll do the initiative thing, but keep your 19.
okay.
If Kiona cannot, in the quick thinking that is her brain, think of any reason that Tisiphone would ever let her see Mr.
This music
Shayhart
is
again.
terrible. What?
Oh, let me keep the new roll. I'm just kidding.
Nope. There, that should be good. Should be good. It's better than the other music. Holy. Okay. Yeah, so you see Kiona Dimension Door. I'm gonna put you right here. How's that?
Okay, she would have done it a little further in, though. That's all.
Okay. Okay. And Mazra, you Tisiphone does not possess counterspell. Double checking. She does not have counterspell.
Here's my roll for my
She's-
magic. 14.
Nice. Okay. Okay. So Mazza, you see Tisiphone blink in surprise as Kiona disappears, and then she reaches out a hand, and you see fire wreath up her arm and a column of flame extend from her hand, and it solidifies into a burning longsword that she grips. And there's just a brief moment where she locks eyes with you, as if to see how you are going to play this.
So Matra has never had any bones about showing how she feels about Tisiphone. Does not think much of her, but when Kiona disappears, there's like just kind of a probably similar moment of like, you know, and when she pulls out that burning sword, Matra just like holds up a hand and is like, I'm not here to fight you. If you don't attack her, I'll try and stop her.
I'm afraid it's too late for that. And Tisiphone makes a move like she's gonna bust through that door.
Mazra, if she can she like teleport like that through like?
No.
Okay. I think she might try to just get around her really fast. So she may just try to like
Okay.
boop boop.
Yeah. Okay. And Tisiphone is going to, as you're kind of rushing past her, she turns and just kicks this door open, splintering it off its hinges, and she storms through like this. And in her other hand, a flaming whip cracks out and attempts to lash around Kiona's leg as she's running towards a very surprised Shiraz Shadeheart. So
Is that a save?
no. That is a 12 versus your armor class.
Which is 12. Not gonna hit. Oh, wait, does it hit? Wait.
Oh, it does hit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it does
Oh,
hit.
I didn't do the thing either.
Armor
All
class is meet or beat.
Shit.
Yep.
All right.
All right. And so she's going to do a grapple attack with that strike. So yeah, you are as of the moment grappled, but on your turn you can try to break out of it, and she's gonna pull back and pull you back towards her like this. Okay. I apologize, Mr. Shadeheart. These two were just leaving. I'll take care of
Oh,
this.
sorry.
And Shiraz has kind of like stood up from behind his desk, his face a mask of confusion and outrage. And he's looking at this whole thing like, what the hell is going on here? Kiona, it's your turn.
Misty Step. Bonus action.
Frickin'. Okay.
She's gonna bonus action Misty Step to right here by Shadeheart. And
Oh my god.
Okay.
she's going to, as her action, whip the book out and slam it down on the desk in front of him.
Okay. Okay. And he just... What? Mazza, it's your turn.
Her hands are staying on the book, though.
Yeah.
Does Tisiphone look like she's like gonna basically like charge Kiona? Like,
she's full on. Yeah, you're
Okay.
in yeah.
so she is going to. Can she get through here? Is she blocking the whole doors? Like,
She's got like wings, so yeah, she's pretty reasonably.
is there a way for her to? Okay. Is she? I don't know if I would know this. Can I do like a quick lore check on myself? Would Mazra know if? Cause she said she's an infernal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would Mazra know? Are
Roll
infernals
religion.
beings? Okay, religion.
Yeah,
check.
roll religion.
Nah, she doesn't know.
Never heard of it before.
All right.
You're like an in for what?
Yeah. Well, she's going to try and I don't know how this is gonna work, but this is what she's gonna try to do. I think the prayer of denunciation is just like is more like you just need to back off.
Jeez. Okay. Okay. wisdom saving throw, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the save DC?
Does it say which it is? It's
Your
my-
spell save DC.
It's 15.
Okay. So is you raise your wooden hand with like the holy symbol carved into the palm, is that right?
Yeah, so I had it embedded
yeah.
in like the palm.
In the palm or the back?
Oh, the back.
The back. Right? As you do this.
No, she does this.
Oh, she does. Okay.
Yes.
As you make
God.
the familiar ancient salute of the flame bearers or the flame bringers or whatever it is that your order is, your holy symbol glows with like a fiery orange glow, and there's like flames licking outside the symbol, and actually the wood on the back of your hand is like blackening a little bit. It's not actually burning, it's like blackening around the holy symbol, as it being burnt by the heated, I think it's copper inlay, by the heated copper. And Tisiphone, you see your symbol, your holy symbol of the Flamebringers, burn into her back between her wings, and she kind of staggers and hisses in pain a little bit, and then whirls back around on you with her eyes are actually like there's flame emitting from her eyes.
Just as a
And
disclaimer.
her face, once like this beautiful, flawless porcelain visage, is now like twisted, and her teeth are all needle-like, and her jaws has she had a small mouth before, now her mouth is like stretched out like this and hissing at you.
As a disclaimer, I did not intentionally do this.
You
There's
did
nothing that you
intentionally
did that was
dimension door.
unintentional.
I did
You
intentional
you did.
dimension door. I did it.
I accidentally Misty stepped over to him.
Whatever.
Move action, bonus action, Mazra.
I think she's gonna just try and like step back and just try to see if Tisiphone will follow her, I guess.
So that's an op attack.
Oh yeah, that's true. No, wait. Well, no, I guess because that doesn't count as an attack, does it?
Yeah, that's right.
I can disengage as a bonus action. Because I'm a rogue,
Okay.
I think. Right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
If that's what you want to do.
Yeah. So she'll like go up 5. And I guess she's just trying to see if Tisiphone will like. She's just trying to get her to stop attacking Kiona.
Yeah. Not happening, because as soon as you she sort of takes a swipe at you and you dance away, and immediately she whirls back around on Kiona. Her wings spread out with a snap of leather, and she sails across the room, snarling, jumps up on the desk, and on top of so Kiona's got the book on the desk, her hands on top of the book. Tisiphone like jumps and perches on top of the book, one clawed foot like digging into your hands that are on the book. Tisiphone like basically now looks like a gargoyle from the cartoon show. Like she's got like clawed hands and feet.
Right.
And she is going to. I wonder why I have 2 entries for the longsword here. Oh, I know why. She is going to make 3 attacks with her
Holy shit.
longsword against you.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What? What is that? They're both the same. What is that?
That's the first one. Yeah.
Well, it was nice knowing y'all.
Yeah.
Look,
That is
Polly's gonna come back to Kiona being dead. How can you do that to him?
that is an accurate damage output there. That is
That's
23
43?
plus 23 is
It's 46.
23 plus 23, 46 damage.
She's down to 2 hit points.
Okay, that's the first attack. Second attack is an 11.
She's down.
That does not hit. No, an
Oh,
11 to hit.
It hit. Oh, okay. All right.
11 to hit.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
That hits.
The third one is a 24.
Yeah. That-
And
Oh
you
my
take 9 slashing
She's
plus
down.
12
God.
poison damage.
She's just down.
She's just down, yeah. So she jumps on and then two-handed just brings this flaming longsword down on you. And it doesn't burn as it cuts your flesh. It actually, you feel like this sort of necrosis spread through you where the sword slashes. And Shiraz is like reaching out his hand to try to stop Tisiphone. He's like, no, stop! But her eyes are like flaming and she's gone into like full demon mode. Kiona, roll a death save.
Oh.
So that's one fail. Okay.
Oh my god.
Mazra. Mazra, you're up.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then she uses her bonus to actually, she was here, right? Let's see.
Yeah.
She's actually gonna use her knife over here, so she's gonna teleport 10, 20. And then she'll move next to Kiona. And then she will you said Tisiphone's like she's standing on the book, or
Yeah.
She's got one of Kiona's hands pinned with her whatever claw foot thing.
So Kiona is like
Dead.
awkwardly like hanging off the desk like this, just unconscious.
she's going to does this work? Can I maybe we need rules lawyers for this, but can I does lay on hands work to like revive someone from being downed?
Yep.
Or does it just
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, it works like any other magical healing.
Okay. So how much do I need to give her? Just like all of it?
One.
Okay,
hit
one.
point.
So she kind of is holding up a hand towards Tisiphone, but with her other hand, she kind of like lays it on.
I'm sure Kiona would appreciate more than one hit point. but
Well, I
one is,
know,
like, the
I
minimum.
know. But anyway, she'll put her hand on her, and while she's doing that, and so like I assume like instead of that red glow, it's more like maybe a soft embery glow, and then that'll go into to that, but then she's just kind of like holding up her hand and saying, like, if she could say like, "We'll leave, please stop."
Okay. Roll persuasion at disadvantage.
All right.
Kiona, you're at 1 HP and you're up, or however many HP.
Yeah, I will give you. I think I can give you 20. So take that 20.
Okay.
Okay.
Where would you say? Persuasion. Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
15 is not bad. 15 is not bad. The Infernal turns her flaming, fanged visage on you and just... She's fully gone off the deep end at this point. She raises her long sword in both hands to strike at you. And as it sails down and it chops down and it's about to cut straight through that hand that you're holding up to stop her. You hear Shiraz yell out, "Stop!" And the blade just stops right there. And just enough to nick the palm of your hand a little bit. I assume that you're channeling the lay on hands with your fake hand?
Yes.
Yeah. So you'll take 4 poison damage.
Okay.
As you feel the whatever dark power resides in this blade seep into your body.
She'll probably kind of grunt, but it doesn't. She'll keep her hand there.
Yeah. And Tisiphone, she stops, still staring at you, and her voice emits like a deep snarling, like all sounding like a big cat, like rattle in the back of her throat. And Shadeheart steps forward. Tisiphone, stand down. Get back. And slowly, reluctantly, the Infernal steps off the desk, eyeing the book. You cannot have this, Master.
You need to remember, Mr. Shadeheart.
You cannot remember. And Shadeheart reaches out and he puts a hand on the cover of the book, stroking the leather binding with his palm and fingers for a moment. He falls silent. And without looking up at you or anyone else, he says, everybody get out of this office right now. Tisiphone, close the tavern. Send everyone home. The guests, the workers, everyone. That includes you, Tisiphone. And he looks at the two of you now. And that includes both of you as well.
No arguing, Kiona. Let's go.
She'll grab the book off the desk.
And Shadeheart is going to press his hand down on top of it. And when he does, you feel a very distinct hum, thrumming vibration deep in your chest. No. Leave it. It's mine.
We need it.
Roll a charisma saving throw.
Kiona's got charisma, yo. In space.
Dang! You did not pass. So,
Fuck.
as you did not, as Shadeheart looks up at you, I'm actually gonna invite Woof to deafen for a moment.
Oh.
Okay. hang on. Let me get my Discord open. One second.
Now don't cheat by turning on the volume of the stream.
No, I promise I won't. Where's the def? Okay, I'm doing it now.
Okay. The vibration deep in your chest builds and builds and builds as Shadeheart looks up at you from the book and locks eyes with you, and for an instant you see a flash and six eyes, a six-eyed ethereal being sort of superimposed over Shadeheart's face, staring back at you. And you hear his voice and another indescribable, like a
Not-
spike in your mind.
Like, not familiar, though.
Not familiar.
Okay.
Familiar yet unfamiliar.
Right.
It's like his voice, but not his voice.
Right.
Just say to you, leave. And you find yourself instinctively, out of like this sheer terror that you can't explain where it's coming from or why you feel this way, pull your hand off of the book. I need a signal for Wolf to undeafen. I think he's got it. I think he's got it. You can undeafen. Yeah. You're good. You're good. You're good. I think he's looking for it. There he is. Okay. You see Shadeheart look up at Kiona and say, leave. And she pulls her hand away off the book.
Mazra will grab Kiona's wrist, and if she doesn't resist, will like drag her out.
Well, she'll go with her. She won't be happy about it, but she'll go with her. Peter.
And as you two leave, Tisiphone stays behind for a moment, having regained her composure and regained her at least, humanish features. She looks back at Shadeheart one more time after you have left.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
She lets you leave first. She
Oh,
looks,
sorry.
get out. She turns around and looks back at Shadeheart one more time, and then she leaves as well and makes her way down here to close the bar. We good? Okay. You're very still for a minute there, Flutter.
I
was wondering if we were having problems again.
processing things in my head. Sorry. I guess on the way out, they'll go back out because that's what else is there to do now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flutter has disconnected IRL, I know.
Yeah. Just...
When they're outside, like Mazra, like Manhara looks like she used to always look, with like this really like stony expression, and just like turns to Yona and is like, "What the fuck do you think you were just doing?"
I think he has the answers somehow, and I want him to remember the things that he says he doesn't remember.
Well, you could have gotten yourself killed.
I know.
She was going to kill you. You know that, right?
I'm sorry, Mazra.
And Maja just takes a couple seconds and is like, calm breathing, calm breathing. The best of her ability. And she kind of just sighs. It's like, I get why you did it, but you need to be more careful.
Yeah. I just didn't see how she was gonna ever let us get back there. But at least he's got the book now. Maybe that'll do something.
They're not the worst for us.
Maybe.
Well,
All that
we're down one
wrong.
book.
Right.
I was going to suggest going to the archives to see what we can learn, but I still think it may be worthwhile to see if maybe they have city blueprints or anything like that of the sewers.
Right.
Anything that might give us an edge.
Sure. And I was thinking that maybe, we could stand some watch around the perimeter of the place a little bit. Try to get an idea of where the guards are coming and going and stuff like that.
Could ask some of Foodle's family.
That's a good idea. I'm sorry I acted rashly.
I just, don't know what we would do if you got yourself killed.
And they will go to the next place, which is the archives, to look at things.
Okay, you're going straight to the archives?
Yeah, I think so.
Without your book. All right. So you make your way. I had some chill.
I think
Yeah.
we did make a copy of the list of the names, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. There we go. I'm just playing with the soundscape a little bit here. Okay. Yeah, so you head across town to the city archives, which is a large temple, almost like a temple-like structure. In fact, you get the impression that at some time it may have been a temple, whether a temple to a deity that is still actively recognized and worshipped, or some defunct religion that has faded away. You can't be sure looking at it from the outside, but it's a grand structure for sure. Nowhere near as grand as the Temple of Light in the plaza that you just left, straight across from Shigraz. Yeah, and as you head in, you are once again faced with a bored and somewhat grumpy looking initiate at the front reception desk. I don't have a map for this, by the way.
Okay. I can just do this.
So just let you know. Yeah. I saw you playing with Roll20. I thought that you might have been,
was
setting up for a map
opening.
or something.
I was opening that name list, actually.
Yeah. Gotcha. And the attendant at the front desk, she's got her face in her hand like this, and she's scribbling something with a little feathered quill in a book, and she kind of looks up at you briefly as you enter, then back down to her book. Yes.
We're here for some information.
It's generally what people come to the archive for.
Do you all hold any sort of city maps or blueprints here?
Mm-hmm.
Are the public allowed to access them?
Nope.
Who would I have to ask for permission?
Chief Archivist. That would be Grand Archivist Marinus Fawn. He should have an appointment opening up second Wednesday of, let's see now, 6 months from now.
Well, is there any way we could maybe expedite that?
Yes, why would we do that?
Well,
Are you nobility? Are you visiting professors? Wandering scholars? Eminent historians?
No, we are agents of the king.
Oh, agents of the king. Do you have anything to prove that with?
Didn't he give us something?
I feel like no.
He has in the past given you like a letter with a royal seal on it.
Right. I imagine we might still have one of those in the bag, but in fact, do I have one in the bag written?
Yeah, you can you have it.
Yeah.
It might be the sort of thing that you might not have added to your inventory.
Right. So yeah, we'll present whatever we can pull out of the bag.
Yeah.
Don't be like,
So
"Oh,
you pull out a letter that proves that you are indeed an agent of the king. Is not a letter that says, "Hey yo, give my friends access to the archive," right? But
Right.
it does demonstrate that you've been working for the king, and the archivist kind of perks up her head and with her quill, like uses the back end of her quill to like bend the letter down a little bit so that she can read it. Oh, well, I'll be damned. If you will wait here for a moment, I'll go see if Archivist Fawn is free to speak with you. Pardon me. She gets up and steps down from behind the little upraised platform that her desk is placed on, and she scurries off into a back room. And after a few moments of leaving you wait in the lobby, if you want to talk to each other, that's fine. She's going to leave you for like 5 or 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And Keon will be just be
You
like,
look like you...
so much better at these things than I am.
Well, you're more aware of the arcane stuff, so
I'm trying anyway.
And the junior archivist does not return, but an older, weazened gnome with like bushy white eyebrows that hides his eyes and a long tapering white beard enters back into the lobby of the archive from the door whence the attendant exited. Yes. Are you the two royal agents? that was sent over here to speak to me?
Uh, yes, we were here to.
We have a couple. We have a couple requests, if you don't mind.
Yes, of course. And the old gnome walks up and holds a hand up to Mazra and then Kiona. I am Grand Archivist Marinus Fon. At your service, as always. May I have the pleasure of knowing the names of the royal agents who are visiting?
Monster Greenstone, Yona Neely.
And you assume that he looks from one to the other, but his weazened and grizzled face moves from one of you towards the other. You can't see his eyes darting around, though. Well, is that so? Your reputations precede you.
Really?
Yes, well, based on what I've heard from others of your exploits in the name of His Majesty, I didn't figure you for the types that I would ever see in this sort of place. If you pardon me for saying so.
No, that's totally fine. We realize when there's certain things that we definitely can't do ourselves or figure out ourselves, and thankfully, when we first came to the city, we got a lot of help from the information kiosk and archives, so we know who to come to when we need assistance.
Yes, well, certainly. You seem, well, forgive me for saying so, but the stories about your work for the king indicates a certain level of indiscretion that I begged you for blunt force instruments of royal authority, but I can help you discover whatever it is you need for your more subtle and learned tasks. What can I help you with today, precisely?
Well, first thing, we are trying to find blueprints or maps of this, the underground. We are doing some investigation, and it would help us quite a bit.
Yes, of course. Well, yes, follow me. We'll take a look through the civic records department. And he kind of taps his little cane and leads you back through the spiral staircases and winding corridors between a maze of stacks in the library, eventually taking you to the civic records department, where there are multitudinous scrolls piled up in these sort of diamond-shaped cubby-holed shelves. Yes, and specifically, what sort of records are you looking for?
Well, we're looking for building plans, or things that may have been added. We think that there may be some, let's just say, rough dealings, and we're trying to route it out. And having a knowledge of any potential areas that may have been built in, or where these tunnels may lead, would be very helpful.
Very well. Are you interested in looking at the city sewer system? Perhaps the
good.
cistern network that feeds fresh water across the city?
That would be very
That you may
helpful.
find over here. And he as he's walking by, he's sort of tapping some different shelves and cubbies with the tip of his cane, indicating, you'll find the schematics for the sewer in here, the schematics for the cistern in here. Any particular neighborhoods in town?
Do I remember which neighborhood it's in? 'Cause we've been talking about it lately, so I can't remember off the top of my head. But
Yeah, so it is in. If we take a look
been a while since we've seen the city.
at the
map.
city map, yeah. We got all this stuff drawn on it. That's from that's from
From a
before.
million
We'll
years
just
ago.
delete that. We'll just delete
The
that.
pre-desert times.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I can actually close the turn order now. It's gonna be an old Lysantia. Certainly. So somewhere,
The keep.
yeah, it's somewhere in. Let me see if I can just sort of draw out this section for you. So there's old Lysantia, and actually the Vintners Guild mansion is located in a little bit of a park. Actually, this block right here is the Vintners Guild property.
So, so once he's kind of pointed out the different, like, or they found the scrolls, she'll say, my friend here had something else to ask you. So would it be all right if I sat here and studied these while she speaks with you?
Yes, please do. As I'm sure you're aware, you cannot remove any documents from this archive, but you may certainly avail yourself during our regular operating hours, and perhaps, since you're royal agents, we could work out something outside of normal operating hours. And please feel free to study these scrolls as you wish.
Much appreciated.
Yes. Now, young lady...
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering if we could. Are there records of people, significant people in this, that have come through this city?
Why, yes, of course.
Well,
He's gone Skeletor for the... Yeah, yes, of course, He-Man.
well, there are a few names that I would like to look up.
Yes. Are they recent names?
Some of them are
Are
a little
they
bit more recent. but
contemporaneous?
some are more
Yes.
from the past.
I see. So you are looking for records of historical personages.
Yeah, maybe. She kind of looks at Mazra like,
Mazra's already like looking through the maps,
way
and
too
she has
into
her
maps. Yeah.
she has her notebook out, and she's already like sketching, like, you know. And she looks up for a minute, and she's like, "Yes, historical and contemporaneous."
Very well. Well, obviously, these are located in two different sections of the archive. However, we do have a roll of all citizens and subjects of Cormantia and its constituent kingdoms in the pre-Cormantian age. Why don't you follow me? We will see what we can find in these records ourselves.
Sure.
This way.
And Mazra will kind of like shoo Kiona to go with him.
So Megan is asking, how is contemporaneous different from contemporary? It's not, but it allows some sort of intellectual, like Grand Archivist Fawn, to sound fancier. Just like the word utilize is no different from the word use. There's a very narrow application
where you can use the word utilize.
It's just
that
a pretentious
use
word, yes.
it's just pretentious. Yeah, it's just pretentious. That's called character.
Take that, published author.
That was
Yeah,
amazing.
take that.
Oh god.
Take that.
Oh.
I'm gonna be in trouble for that one. I'm gonna pay. So Grand Archivist Fawn.
Suddenly,
Grand Archivist Fawn.
he mutates into a monster.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Fiona's just on a roll today. She just
Grand Archivist Fawn leads you to another section of the archive. This on a floor much higher up, and in fact, this section of the archive occupies an entire floor of this facility here. And it's essentially the biographical roles. It is, of course, not a true and complete account of every single person who ever lived, but here you'll find information on people who are important enough to write down something about.
right.
In addition to the Grand Archivist who walks around, he shows you where you can see genealogies and family lines, where you can find census information, things like that.
Okay.
Is there anyone in particular you're looking for, young lady?
Well, yes, there's at least a couple people. First, a person by the name of Erusian. I don't know if I have...
I've never heard that name before.
Well, I think he's been around the city recently, so I'm not sure how I would find him.
Well, these records are organized by approximate date of creation, usually, or next best guess. You will find the older documents that way, and the newer documents on that side of the floor.
All right. And then so she'll go and I guess do a search for Erusian. I don't know the freak to say his name.
Yeah. Yep.
And see if she finds anything on him.
Okay. Why don't you tell me
I can tell you the names.
all the people that you're looking
I was
for?
gonna
Yeah.
say, okay.
Yeah. I see,
and-
because I see you pulled up a list here.
Yeah, I know that. I feel like she would probably have to at least look up the people on this list, but to just look and see if there's anything that she feels like would link them to to reasons why they should have not been in the top, to anything that's been going on recently.
Okay.
So she would go through that. She would have started with Erusian, and then she would have also looked up the dude's name that was the original author that I can't think of off the top of my head right now. The guy that was the book guy.
Talking about Addis Kaltor?
Yes, that one. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I would like you to roll an investigation check
Oh God.
As
this
you
is
are.
not.
taking the study action, and as a horse trots through the library, like right behind you.
This is terrible.
Pay no attention to old Finnegan there.
Finnegan,
He is
Fiona
a,
gets distracted by a horse walking through and is like, "Oh, look at that!"
Yes, well, he is, how would you say, a druid who took a interest in civilized life and exist here to study the rest of us and see how people here live. However, he sometimes gets nervous and wild shapes into various animals when that happens.
Well, I should like to talk to him sometime.
Yes, well, today he's chosen to be a horse, apparently. And I trust he will clean up after himself once he's finished.
What did you say his name was? Finnegan. Finnegan.
Finnegan, yeah. And the horse, that's just roaming through the library, apparently, turns and just gives a little, like, puff. Just a little, like, I can't do it. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right. Kiona, I can try to maybe Tides of Chaos to. Is that?
You can
Yeah.
do that
Ability
if you want.
checks,
You can
saving
do
throws.
what you
I
want.
got. I only rolled 11, so that's not the best.
That's an ability check. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's an ability check.
So she can do that once. So I'm gonna go ahead and try again. She's gonna try to after the horse focus down and do better. Do not better.
Now, does Tides of Chaos say that you have to keep the new roll? Or do you get to pick?
It says you to gain advantage. So sorry, you can
Okay,
manipulate
so
horse.
it's
Yeah.
advantage. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's still an 11.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you look through, and I will tell you who you find. You find information on everybody who is part of the High Council. So that is Alarad Kleist, Eau Claire Fitzroy, Delane Lugan, Owain Gallion is mentioned. Valora DeRoy is of course mentioned.
Right.
Protaxitos is mentioned. You find that an unusual name. Nobody else has a name like that around here.
Right.
So you found that a bit of a strange name. You find so all of that, and then Mallory Sorry is the treasurer of the High Council. You find them all on a singular document that's basically like a record of the kingdom's council.
Sure.
Right? So those are in like the civic administration records.
So-
You find mention of them. It seems pretty straightforward. If you backtrack them to their like
Which she would do
individual and like
specifically-
family,
Yeah. Specifically,
Like
especially
they're-
for like Valora and stuff, because she knows that there's something going on there, and so
Yep.
she's gonna look into
Yep.
her past to see if there's anything.
Sure. So looking through all of that, the only one that does not have a like family role, like a genealogy or any sort of documentation outside of their work on the High Council, is Protaxitos,
Okay.
who you learn is a Dragonborn member of the High Council, and an immigrant to the kingdom. And so the records that exist about him is literally pretty much Protaxitos came to our city and distinguished himself and became a high counselor.
Right.
Good for him,
Right.
right? Whereas everybody else on the High Council has a family history stretching back, at least a century.
Right.
The DeRoys, including Valora, and Eau Claire Fitzroy is also is distantly related through their family tree. The DeRoys have lived in Cormantia since before Cormantia was Cormantia, since before the unification of the kingdom. And in fact, they themselves were the royal line of one of the, I guess what you would call it, like the predecessor realms of what would become Cormantia, right? So if you imagine, like, Cormantia used to be like a bunch of little principalities and duchies and things like that, and counties that merged together into the kingdom. The DeRoys were rulers of one of those little constituent pieces of land that would become the kingdom.
Okay.
Valora DeRoy is, in particular, carrying on a tradition of civil service that appears to stretch back several generations. Her father served on the High Council, and then his mother before him, so Valora's grandmother, also served on the High Council, and it appears that Valora has a couple of children whom, as you kind of pick apart like what's going on in her life and what she's accomplished, one of her son is serves in the Royal Guard, and her daughter is attending university and learning the ins and outs of statecraft, and it seems that she's grooming both of her children for high-level civil service later on in life.
Okay.
Shiraz Shadeheart, basically even less about him than Pretaxitos. Where Pretaxitos is, hey, he moved to our kingdom and to our city, he distinguished himself, and now he's on the High Council. Shiraz Shadeheart is, he moved to our kingdom and our city and opened a business.
Okay.
And there's a little like appendix at the bottom of his that has like a little library code for another section of the library.
Oh, well, she'll note that down for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And pursue that at the right time.
Yep. Calder, acting High Priest Calder, has an entry in the in a section in a document containing a roll of people who have immigrated to the kingdom and taken up leadership positions in the local Temple of Light, and so Calder is listed there as the captain of the Lysantian chapter of the Knights Radiant, and then beneath that has been recently sort of penciled in acting High Priest of the Temple of Light in Lysantia.
Okay.
There is nothing on Isandril because he is a foreigner.
Okay. Right.
Has,
Right, 'cause
never
he's
stepped foot in this from another country.
Right.
And then there is no entry for Yashara Garanet.
Okay.
Because she is too lowly an individual to be of any concern, any value to keeping a record of her.
Right. Okay.
Her name appears on a list of royal staff, and that's it.
Then, so once she's finished kind of looking through those, she'll go, she'll try to see, where does this this section with the code from
Hmm?
Shiraz Shadeheart's entry.
That section. Well, let me see. And he kind of, with one hand, holds the scroll, like, or the note that you took a little bit closer. And with another hand, he's got some little, like a little telescopic monocle that he holds up to one bushy brow. He kind of tucks it underneath this bushy white eyebrow. Yes, those are from the judicial records section. It appears that this individual may have a bit of a record with the local law-keepers, and judging by the numbers at the end here, you see this says 101-1 through 101-37. Indicates that he may have a lengthy record on his exploits indeed.
Right. Well, that's not really a surprise, I guess. We might look into that, but what about this other fella? The one you just said a couple minutes ago. I can't think of the name of ever. Kaltor.
Well, I can't help you there. Attis Kaltor.
Kaltor.
That's one that you mentioned. I've never heard the name. Never heard the name in my life.
He would be in your further back histories if he's anywhere.
Well, that is that side of the room over there.
So she'll go looking for him just to see if there's anything there.
All right, roll an investigation to see what you find there.
Please, for the love of all that's holy. Jesus.
Nope. You find the
Like, really, though? How does it know that it's an invest? How does it know?
you can find the record keeping system and the organization system for groups of documents in the older section of the
Right.
archives makes sense.
Right.
But as you try to get into these groups of documents, they are, they're filed in and recorded and titled and dated in a variety of different systems, and in fact, no system at all.
Right.
And you find yourself quickly overwhelmed.
Sure.
It's like you say, okay, well, this box might have something, and you pull a box off the shelf and you open it up, and it's almost like you're opening like a child's toy chest with like there's just a bunch of documents hardly taken care of at all, like old.
Right.
You know what? We have an archive
sure.
at my library, and this is giving me
Yeah.
such anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so she will be quickly overwhelmed and done with that, and,
Yeah.
uh,
This part of the archive is like the section of the Vatican archives that everyone thinks there's like these deep dark secrets hidden in there, but in fact it's just that these documents have piled up over the course of centuries with like no actual systematized way of organizing them, that like they just can't penetrate the sheer amount of just crap that's in here. And that's what you're encountering right now is like, oh man, like you probably need like a PhD
right.
to make heads or
To
tails
sift
of
through
any
it.
of this.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
she'll probably say, oh, well, I think that's probably pretty much, unless, well, if there's somebody I forgot to look up. I don't know if there was anybody else that we were thinking.
Do you have a way to communicate with Mazra?
Right. So she's gonna go actually to Mazra, was the next, because she's gonna have that list of Shiraz's discretion discrepancies.
Yeah, in his
and-
indiscretions.
Right. And she's gonna.
Well, you only have the code for it. You haven't actually gone and looked at it.
No, she hasn't. But she wants Mazra to go with her for that because she feels like that should be information Mazra would be able to utilize better than she would.
Okay, well, so while Kiona was gone, Mazra would have gone over the maps of the sewers in the area around the Vinters Guild. But while they were gone, she might try to find it herself, but if not, she would have found somebody to ask. She also was going to try and see if there were any blueprints of the various guild halls, like building blueprints of those at all.
Okay. Yep. Sure. You can roll an investigation.
Okay. Wow.
Right? What the fuck, yo? What the
Rough.
hell?
Rough. Holy crap.
It's a crit fail too.
I know.
really
Oh my goodness.
bad.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
That's brutal.
That is. I do
Okay.
love I still got a 12 though when I crit failed.
Yeah. So you're looking around, and the only thing that you find in here is that there are some blueprints of some guild halls and guild properties around the city. The Vintners Guild is not one of them. In fact, there is a little folio for the blueprint of this building, but when you open it up, it's empty.
Here it is.
Okay, and Finnegan sort of walks by behind you. You just like you hear the clop 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 of hooves, and you turn around and you look, and there's just a horse walking by you.
Apparently, he's the local druid that's.
Did you eat this? She says to the horse.
And it tosses its mane in indignance and trots away.
That's what it was. Striker was a sound.
What did you
Okay.
find?
Well, everybody on the council seems to have their records pretty well far back as far as, like, families going back forever. Like, Valora apparently was part of some family that might have been in line for, you know, being the ruler of a different clan before they came together to be this kingdom. But her family's been in service here for since then.
Something we could look into further at another time.
Right. Nobody else there had anything real interesting. Mr. Shadeheart apparently has a laundry list of crimes that he's done that we might be able to go and take a look at.
No surprise there. Well, lead the way.
So they will ask the gnome, our friend, the archivist,
Yeah.
Marinus Fawn. Is that how I say it?
Yep. Yes, well, right this way then. To the legal records. And he kind of waddles off, and he leads you to a well-lit section of the archive, and you see a number of people in black robes and powdered wigs kind of wandering around. They look like these are students of law at our local university. They come here and study the judicial records with quite frequently, in fact, and they are very much one of our most active scholarly communities. Right this way, you will find the records you're looking for, and you have this Bart Simpson-esque moment when he arrives at the filing boxes. They're like these drawers that pull out from the wall that are full of records, and he goes to the one that is labeled SA to S to SA to SG, and then the next one over reads Shiraz Shadeheart, and then it continues through the S's past that. And Fawn reaches out and he pulls out. He tries to pull open. A little help here. I'm not as young as I used to be.
Well, sure. She'll try to help it.
Yeah, and it takes like a little bit of a tug, but you open the drawer and it sort of rolls out. And it's straight up, like you could stand and reach down into it, and it's just full of files. And they're all records of court proceedings, with one Shiraz Shadeheart listed as the defendant in each of them. Many of them are things like operating a business without a license, possession of contraband material. Often many of them have sort of subcharges that carry along with them, like, attempts to bribe and or seduce the city guard, things like that.
Is there anything
interference
that
with
would
an investigation,
particularly-
tampering?
Yeah, so nothing that would particularly draw our attention in terms of like having anything that could be
Someone's been
relevant to us.
busy.
I shall say that there is nothing in there that surprises you.
Right.
But you don't find anything like murder or assault or things like that.
Mazur wants to focus on, given that he's got all these charges and stuff, how it is that he is not in jail.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at the convictions or how the verdict was set.
Yeah. In each case, he represented himself to the incredulity of the judge and the magistrates, and he always managed to get off using reasoned argumentation, legal loopholes. Sometimes, on occasion, there would be some charges that you would say would be associated to the shadier, pun not intended, aspects of his business and his revenue streams, where the crown magistrates would actually abruptly and with no explanation given drop the charges.
Okay.
Yeah.
There were a couple of times when he's had to pay, there was one time when he got caught smuggling in some illegal contraband into the city, that he was up on a crime that would carry charges of 15 years in prison, and seizure of all material assets, where he actually got off with a fine of 10 gold pieces or things like that.
Well, it looks like he is one slippery eel.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
You do find, actually, somebody roll an investigation check. Here's a good anecdote.
Let's see if
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
Good.
comparing, as you move through them, you kind of you read one that's hey, wait a minute, he had violated child labor laws by employing children to collect refuse on the riverbank, bring it to him, and then he would resell anything that was valuable, like scrap metal and things like that. He would melt it down and salvage it, and so you kind of think, well, wait a minute, I read something earlier about this. There's another crime that he committed where he should have been sent to jail for years, but he got off on community service, and he agreed that he would do like neighborhood cleanup. And you realize that what in fact he ended up doing is he did that neighborhood cleanup by hiring children to collect garbage that he could then like salvage on and make a profit from, and he actually made a profit from that.
Gosh.
And he got off on that with the argument that he thought the children were adult gnomes.
Oh.
And in fact, he waxes poetic in the trial notes this anger that he feels at being deceived.
That's so terrible. That's so bad.
Yeah.
That's just,
Yeah.
wow. Great.
I feel like I could study these and learn a thing or two.
I think that Kiona will be disappointed that they didn't find something that would help them. Not that she really expects to find anything there that's going to help them get the book back, but she was. Well.
Before they go, I think she'll try and find the archivist guy again, and maybe just ask him. Well, do you know anyone else in the city who may have some more information on historical personages or like a historical group?
Of course, there are many records of historical personages and groups. What are you looking for in particular?
Just
that's
more
completely
information
wrong.
is all. Yeah, we're junior researchers, so
Very
always
well.
looking for assistance.
Well, I showed your friend the biographical archives about particular individuals, but is there perhaps an organization that you're looking for?
She'll glance over at Kiona.
What about the followers?
The Dreamers?
Yeah.
Oh, them. Well, that is actually quite a new phenomenon, one that has been a topic of interest to some of our researchers. You could find certainly judicial records here. There may also be a property to the deed of their former headquarters, the almshouse.
Will be useful, I think.
Indeed. So you can roll an investigation check on that to see what you learn.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully it's not as bad as last time.
Right. I might have spent my one good
What the
investigation.
fuck?
That's
Rip. There's really not much.
Roll
There
20,
are,
what the hell?
yeah, in the you find nothing surprising or particularly new. Oh man. Oh. You find nothing particularly surprising or new in any of the legal records. You know, there's records of members of the cult being arrested and tried for various sort of misdemeanors and things like that, blasphemy against the Temple of Light. Some overzealous city guards arrested them for, and they before they went to trial, they received royal pardon. So there's like the royal stamp on the document. Where obviously, as you know, the king has been trying to keep the peace. So, they get picked up for, spitting on the Temple of Light or something like that. They get arrested for that, and then the king pardons them because he doesn't want there to be riots in the streets to put them on trial for things like that. So nothing surprising to you. The property deed is for the almshouse that was purchased, was signed by Dyer. It simply has the you can tell from the handwriting, the city clerk that filled out the form also wrote his name on the signature line, and then there's like an X beside it, perhaps indicating that Dyer is potentially illiterate. But there exists no other record of this individual, where he came from, which may indicate to you, based on what you know from the biographical archives, that he just might have been born and raised in this city, and just be from such a low stratum of society as to not warrant having any sort of records made of him prior to his activities as the head of the Dreamers.
Sure. I can't think off the top of my head if there's anything else.
Probably good for now. If we think of more, we can come back another day.
Sure.
Very well, then. Please feel free to present yourself to the attendant at the entrance of the archive. I will be sure to have your names added to the instantaneous admittance roll.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Fawn. That's very generous of you.
Indeed, I'm happy that I could help you today.
Indeed, thank you.
Right. And with that, I would like to take a quick 5-minute break if we could.
I agree, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will be back shortly.
Right?
Give us just a minute. Hi, guys. How's it going, you guys? Hi, Peter. Thank you so much for coming along tonight. Who else did I see stop in? My goodness. Crew. Chakras, Peter. How are you guys doing? I hope you're enjoying the show tonight. Hi. Sleepy but okay. Woke up from a nap. Yeah. I really didn't actually really mean to get Kiona damn near killed today. I really thought she would be able to get the book. I didn't think that Shiraz would let that happen because I thought she would be able to get the book there fast enough, but Tisiphone got her. So, also, I just wasn't sure how far she would go with that, but that was pretty scary for a minute. Mr. Foodle is going to be off doing other things, probably, question mark, somehow around town, taking care of business, as he does. Yo, yeah, we were just saying Mr. Foodle is probably taking care of some other business that we currently, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't really mean to get Kiona that near killed today. That was not actually in the plan.
Look, you got monsters to admit an emotion.
That is true. That is true. That is true. Yeah. That was a moment for Kiona. She really thought she was going to be able to get the book to Shiraz before Tisiphone would get to her, so she took the chance.
Yeah. I mean, I have always figured that she's way higher of a level than we are and could just kick our asses. So.
Well, yeah, but Kiona would never have considered that. She would have just wanted to put the book in front of Shiraz at that point because she knows that Tisiphone is now going to try to prevent them from getting back there. If whatever Shiraz decides with it.
Well, I think at this point it's going to be up to him whether he invites us back or not.
Well, that's true. Although Kiona is going to attempt to, in a day or two, or a couple of days, put out some feelers and see if there's any chance that they can talk. Because after all, it was her that nearly died, and not Tisiphone or Shiraz. So... But they need the book. She really didn't anticipate losing the book. That was the biggest thing. She was
wow.
Yeah.
Nacho did warn her, like...
Yeah. She rolled really good on that persuasion roll, too. Or the charisma check, rather.
Yeah, but she's an infernal, though, so I'm like, come on.
No, it was for Shiraz.
I will say Shiraz, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like, you know, she's like jumping into portals, pissing off infernals, like...
You know how she does.
Touching random things that make you pass out.
You know. Listen,
all right.
If there's nothing that we have learned about Kiona thus far, it's that she's compulsive. Like...
So I heard some interesting conversation upstairs while from you guys.
I was gonna say
in my wireless. Yeah. So how much do you guys know about like out of character? How much do you know about like devils versus demons in D&D and things like that?
I know nothing. Absolutely nothing about any
nothing.
Of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can make some educated guesses probably.
Yeah. So I don't follow like the canonical kind of D&D structure of the multiverse, especially when it comes to like devils versus demons and things like that. But I've more or less like basically devils are like lawful evil, demons are chaotic evil. Demons just want to like tempt mortals to destruction and things like that, right?
Right.
Think like chaos from Warhammer 40K and things like that, right? That's like demons, right? Whereas devils are about like manipulation and tyranny and gaining like power, and they're all about like contracts, right? So signing the deal with the devil kind of thing
Right.
is what devils are more about. And I've kind of I haven't like fully deleted demons from this world, but in canonical D&D lore, the demons and the devils are fighting this eternal war called the Blood War and blah blah. And I was like, I'm not really interested in exploring that in this world. I've got other things on the go that don't make room for that. So mostly in this world we go with devils who are called infernals, and maybe I'll throw in like what is canonically a demon or two,
Sure.
right, into
Yeah.
that, right? But I don't, we don't play with alignment too much. We don't have the different planes of existence and different extraplanar creatures manifest alignment in some sort of idealized form and things like that.
Right.
So we have the infernals, which represent both demons and devils in one package. And there are certain things, this has been alluded to in past encounters with Shiraz Shadeheart and Tisiphone, that Shadeheart has her under contract. And he's one of the rare examples of a mortal who has made a contract with an infernal and been the one to come out on top, because usually it's like a be careful what you wish for. Infernals will put like, fine print in the contract that's basically like, hey, I own you, right? I'm going to get what I want. I'll give you like a little bit of what you want in a twisted fashion that you didn't expect, and then
Right.
and then I own you.
Yeah.
But Shiraz got the better of Tisiphone, which is something that we established in the past, right?
Right.
And so there are certain things in Tisiphone's contract, which I think we said like the contract was like 300 pages long
Yeah,
or something
we said
ridiculous
it was really,
like that.
really
Like
long, yeah.
it was humongous, right?
Yeah.
And there's certain things in that contract that, number one, Tisiphone's not allowed to say what's in her contract. And then number two, if she's contractually bound to do something in a certain situation, she has to do it. She's like compelled
Right.
to do it. So
Yeah.
there's the part where you're like, oh, I don't, wondering how far she would take it. Well,
Right.
if
Well,
there's something in the contract that's like a do not go over this line,
yeah.
and you go over that line, she's like, well, I guess it's time
and
to go. I guess it's fighting
honestly,
time.
though, that's something that Kiona would never have even begun to think of, like the consequence, that kind of reach, right? Like she would not have. She just assumed that the minute that Shiraz was in the room, that it would probably be okay. But know.
But there are some things that he has contractually bound her to that he doesn't even know about.
Right. Which is why she told him he needs to remember.
Yeah. And of course, where's Foodle? Well, he is around town, taking care of business.
Who was
I
too
think- I
smart
think
to
what
get
we'll-
mixed up in this?
I think what we'll do is we'll have Collie do like a quick downtime roll for
Right, for
learning
this,
his
yeah.
herbalism kit proficiency.
Yeah. That would be great.
He'll be hanging out with Andrea Pantalonia, sipping tea and learning about plants, while his friends are like fighting this creature from hell.
I mean, listen, nobody set out to do that today, okay? Listen. That wasn't the plan. She was really just hoping that Tisiphone would help her. She's really dumb, y'all.
Right.
We've covered this.
Right. So, what's next on your preparation agenda?
So what time of day is it at this point?
And also, can I use some hit dice to heal the rest of my health back up?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We could count like what you were doing at the library like as a short rest, and we'll say you went to Shadeheart's first thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It never occurred to me that you went to this library like looking all beat up.
Yeah.
You got like a black eye and a bloody nose, and
It's got
you're like,
blood.
can we look at
She
some
was,
documents?
Like, stabbed
and there's
with
like
a
blood
sword,
coming out
so
of your
there's
mouth.
blood all over her. Yeah.
And Grand Archivist Fawn is like, don't get blood on the documents. Wash your hands first. Wear cotton gloves.
Oh, really? What?
Oh, that's crap.
Ripperoonie. Oh man. Enjoy your 14 hit points
Right.
after 4 hit dice.
Well, she looks a modicum better.
Yeah. For chat's sake, she rolled 2255 on the hit dice,
On D6.
which is like two ones and 2 4s.
Right.
Dang.
Oh, man.
So Masha's got her little notebook with notes in it, and she's
Yeah.
just like, well, I still think we should try and speak with Tinkerbell, and then we were gonna try and find some servants to talk to and see if they had any information for us.
Right. From the house. Ghost Pepper.
Right.
I see you being confused.
Yep.
Yeah. From the mansion, the Vintners Guild.
Yeah.
And don't we also have a potential person to interview for the tavern?
Mm. Indeed.
All right, well.
Who was handling that? Was it Foodle's family that was like overseeing that, or
They were
Sure. We could say that like they sent out the ads and things like that, and they will send you back a short list of candidates.
Okay.
Let's just say.
yeah? Well, she'll whenever they get a chance, she'll send it out and then have them maybe set up an interview time or whatever
right.
for when they're in the house.
Okay. Yep. And Foodles, everyone hydrate. Thank you, Peter. Yeah, when you kind of check in on that, Foodle's mother walks up to you with a couple sheets of paper. Well, I found some fairly strong candidates, but these are the 3 that I think you should narrow it down to.
All right. I appreciate your help.
Thank you, Mama
Yeah,
Sheppy.
Yeah, oh yes, of course, my sweet girl.
Yeah, so she'll spend a little time. If they're taking a little time to rest, then
Yeah.
she'll take some time to go over what's in there.
In the meantime, where were we gonna find the people that were the servants? I don't know if I had that written down. Like I had.
Didn't we have a servant?
Do we?
Well, one of the people we were going to ask was possibly the spa lady, but then the other people we spoke to servant-wise in the house were in like an insane... No, there was like one guy that used to be a servant. He works somewhere else now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost Pepper.
Go
is just
speak to that guy.
Yeah, so we would want to go talk to that guy.
So maybe what they'll
Right,
do is
yeah,
they'll spend a little time. Mazur can go over the sheets, give them back to the Foodle Mom, and then ask them to set up a interview time.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, and Foodle's mom will she'll get straight on that. She'll set up an interview for the next day.
Okay, sounds good.
Indeed.
Okay.
All right.
So do you want to do
Um,
that? Do you want to do something else? Like what? You're in the driver's seat. You tell me. What
Right.
you
Well, I
wanna-
think we're
what
going
do
to
you
do
wanna
those other
things
two
with.
things, but whether we do that
Right.
first or second
Yeah.
doesn't really matter to me.
That's
Yeah,
up to you.
If the interview's set up for the next day and we have the afternoon yet, we might as well go talk to this guy.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that then.
So who are you talking to?
There was a servant that used to work at the Vintners Guild.
I thought it was someone that used to work in our house.
It's someone who used to work in your house. Yeah.
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 And I think now he works at a different
Right.
house.
Right.
I don't remember his name, but
I don't either.
I do.
Oh.
I think it was a she
oh,
Oh.
named Royshin.
okay.
And Royshin lives. Hold on. Got a soundscape for this way back when I gave myself a soundscape. Do I? No. I labeled it, but it is not coming up in a search. So we're gonna keep this. Okay, so yeah, Royshin, she is a servant in a very upper class aristocratic family's home named the Doricks. Anders and Selena Doric. And if you remember, the Doricks, when she was working in Angevin House for the old occupants, the Doricks actually had her on their payroll as a spy and agent. And for a little while, there was suspicion on the Doricks that they used her to commit nefarious acts
Right.
against the Angevin family. However, you realize that she was merely witness to the old owner Tarian's grief and madness.
Right.
And then on the night of the murder, Royshin fled back to the Doricks.
Okay. So you said that we're finding them at their home? Question mark? Is that weird?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually have a whole lot here about hold on. Maybe this will so your relationship with the Doricks is kind of strained because you aired some dirty laundry when you did that, right?
Right.
So she was a spy and agent inside Angevin House when Tarian descended into grief after Trefair's death. They offered her a lot of gold
to do things that seemed quite innocent enough at first, but as time went on, she began to put the pieces together and realized that she was party to manipulating a grieving father. So she was the one that delivered a letter from a person named Erusian, which this was the second time the name came up, to Trella. And the last item she delivered to Trella was a sealed scroll the morning of the same day that she died. When Royshin reported Trella's death to the Dorics, they had instructed her to have the body dismembered and transported out of Angevin House without Tyrion's knowledge. She couldn't bear to do that herself, and she got another servant that you interviewed named Caitlin to do it instead, claiming it was under Tyrion's orders. And it was the disappearance of Trella's body that ultimately broke him psychologically. And then shortly after Trella's death, she told you that she began to have nightmares, as did Tyrion and some of the other staff. And at first, she believed they were a result of everyone's grief, guilt, and trauma. But as time went on, Tyrion became paranoid and violent. Mandred, who was at the sanatorium, was driven mad and never recovered. And Royshin has continued to have nightmares from time to time herself. So these were all things from the last time you met with her.
Right.
Bit of a history there.
It's no good. All right, so we'll go to her house and knock on her door.
Okay.
And we'll bring a peach pie with us.
Okay.
Wait.
So you go and you knock on the door. Yeah.
I have a we don't have to do this now, but I have a suggestion. Since we're bringing a Pete's pie, that suggests that we stopped at Tinkerbell's and Window Bake, so maybe we can do that afterward, and like retroactively.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you show up at the Doric's Manor, the Doric estate, with a Pete's pie in hand, and you knock on the door, and Royshin, dressed in her requisite maid outfit, answers the door. And when she opens the door and sees you, her eyes go wide, and she steps out onto the front step and closes the door behind her. What are you doing here?
Well, we wanted to talk to you a bit, and we brought you some Pete's pie.
What? Thank you, they're delicious, but the master and mistress are absolutely against me talking to you again.
Well, is there a spot we can go to that's a little out of the way? They wouldn't notice for a couple minutes?
We meet out in the East Garden in 10 minutes. I can give you 5.
Okay.
And she sneaks back in with the Pete's pie in hand.
Yes, mistress. It was simply one of those kind people dressed in the sackcloth that gave me, brought us a Pete's pie.
That's one way to
Yes,
convert
I'll-
people to your religion.
Sir, I'll serve it up right away. Yes. And she closes the door.
Well, we're gonna have to get her another one. Maybe we can just get Findlebeak to keep one at a shop for her.
Maybe. Or what about the idea of having someone quickly bring it to her? She's furiously scribbling down an idea. Masha is going to invent. She's inventing Grubhub
Delivery for pizza.
in Cormantia. Uber Eats.
They'll contact the Feywild to hire workers to drive around in their Fey cars.
The goose car.
Yeah.
In 30 minutes or it's free.
you have to give the tip for the drivers is like a treasured memory, or
Like your firstborn child or whatever.
the first thing you laughed at as a child. It's all like face stuff that they want as their tip.
It's amazing. I love that.
A lock of hair from your high school sweetheart. Yeah. So you go out to the East Garden as instructed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're kept waiting there for a little bit, and time ticks up to 10 minutes and ticks past for another couple minutes, and then sure enough, just as you're beginning to wonder if something went wrong, the servants' exit to the garden opens up, and Royshin steps outside, furtively looking around, and gently closes the door behind her and scampers up to you.
You realize that the last time you were here, you revealed a serious series of crimes that the master and mistress had committed.
Right, well.
Yeah, well, I mean, water under the bridge.
No, not to them. If they see you here, they're going to lose their minds.
Oh, well,
And I might lose my head.
Well, we'll make it quick. They won't.
you really should come work for us,
I
Anyway.
can't.
Oh.
They have just as much dirt on me as they have on you. They have just as much dirt on me as I have on them.
Well, we won't take up much of your time then. We just need to know, do you know anything about the servants in the Vintners Guild?
The Vintners Guild. What do you want to know about them?
We have a vested interest.
She looks at you as somebody who is well aware of your vested interests.
I'm sure you do. I know a young Skolden kitchen servant named Orin. What do you need to know him for?
We're looking for information on what the servants might know, possible entrances,
Comings and goings.
anything that might assist with certain things.
I'll tell you this much. Like the other servants at the Vintners Guild, Orin is rarely permitted to leave the grounds.
Interesting.
The compound is almost like a tiny village on its own within the middle of the city.
Do the servants live there?
Yes, they do. Most of them live there all the time. Some of them are, on occasion, permitted to leave the grounds to do some work or attend holidays from time to time. Only a very few very senior servants are permitted to go around town on the regular. If you're looking to get into some of the Vintners Guild's dirty business, those servants are not going to budge. I might be able to write a little letter of introduction for you. If you manage to find a way to sneak in, you could call in a favor or two on my behalf with Orin.
We'd appreciate that.
That would be very helpful.
We can compensate you if you need.
I would certainly appreciate it. I'll be sticking my neck out here.
Maja
The
will.
master and mistress I get the impression they have their own dealings with the Vintners Guild. Have no idea what they are, but if they caught me helping you uncover their secrets, well, that's one more secret that the Doric clan have that you've laid out in the open. They would be none too pleased.
Right.
So if you get caught, you make sure you destroy the letter that I give you.
We
Absolutely.
never spoke with you. And Mazra will, I think she trusts this person enough that she'll come through with the letter. So she will, basically give her a pretty decent sum and kind of say, like, if the worst comes to worst, this should probably be enough for you to get out of here.
Roll a d10.
Okay.
You will give her 70 gold pieces.
Okay.
70.
Okay. Flutter, will you mark that on the...
Yep, I got you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And she kind of takes the pouch and tucks it into the apron of her uniform.
You can always send the letter by a courier if that works better for you.
I'll make sure I get it to you somehow.
Hmm. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
I will. Now, get out of here before you're caught. And she runs back inside and
Alright.
sneaks back in through the servant's entrance.
And we will
So
make
you
sure
have
that extra Pete's pies are
a-
delivered to the mansion.
Yep. And so you
The
can
servant's
put
quarters.
you can put into your inventory a letter for Orin. That is and you can basically like enter a little description of it if you want. Pretty much what I said. It's a letter from Royshin, calling in a previous favor for Orin, the half-elf kitchen servant inside the Vintners Guild mansion. Okay, and you also you made a stop at Findlebake's as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
And much like last time, she'll, request to see the woman of the house.
So we're like backing up in time here. Yeah. And so you make your way into the back kitchen where Tinkerbell is working away, and there's a little Grelko back there as well. Actually, this time Grelko is sitting on the front counter, and he's working with Findlebeak at the
As soon as
Greco
they walk in
Findlebeak
the
at the
door,
front counter.
You want to be like, oh, hi there, look how big you got. She'll like,
And Grelko just like scowls at you. He looks like
Yeah.
Grumpy Cat, right? So he's got this massive like RBF going.
Resting baby face?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yep, that's what it means. She just looks at you like a grumpus. But you know him well enough by now that you know that he's not like actually he
Fiona
just
will
looks a lot
tweak-
like
Tweak his nose.
and he like giggles while still frowning at you. And then he will hold out a hand to you as if to hand you something.
Oh, okay. And Kiona will put her hand up.
Okay, and he opens his hand, and it's like a roach drops into the palm of your hand, and it's been like bitten in half.
Oh, well, that is a great tasty snack there, isn't it?
And Groko smiles at you, and you see a little like antenna poking out of his mouth.
Well, you wouldn't want to miss out the rest of him, would you now? And she kind of like pushes it back in his direction.
Okay, and he takes it and he
Do an
puts
airplane.
puts the rest.
Yeah.
Two-handed, 2 hands on it, puts the rest in his mouth.
That's glad you like those there, kid. Is Findlebeak out front there?
Yeah, he is. He's attending to customers.
Okay.
Well, as they head back, Mars was like, "This is why you don't trust children."
Fiona will giggle at her.
Tea sip, slow tea sip. You can't trust them. They're all monsters. Okay. Yeah,
that
so
was
she'll head down.
Kiona's
Yeah, well,
like
I mean-
wiping
Yep.
her hand on her pants, like. Nah.
And as you go back into the rear section of the store, you see that Tinkerbell is not in the back kitchen area, but on the far side of the loading zone where the wagon is parked. On the other side of that, where all the crates and the sacks of flour get stacked up, there's a little desk there, and she's sitting behind the desk, scrawling something onto parchment with a quill and ink, and she's got some reading glasses perched on the edge of her nose.
She's all yours.
Oh, all right. She'll head over there.
As you approach, the scratch, scratch, scratch of writing on the parchment stops abruptly, and she peers up over the rims of her glasses at you.
Hi.
Oh, it's you again.
Yep, it's me again.
Well, what do you want this time?
I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you or your associates have any knowledge about the Vinters Guild?
She puts the quill down and steeples her fingers. Why do you ask?
We've heard there may be some goings-on there that we are interested to investigate.
She takes off her glasses and sets them down on the little writing desk. I've heard similar rumors. But nothing as yet that I would expect to attract your attention.
It's,
What are you looking for in there?
well, we've heard that they traffic in magical items. We're looking for something specific among them for, let's just call it matching up artifacts.
Well, my operation has been gradually spreading its fingers out, taking over the old assets and connections of the Order of Dusk. They never did manage to penetrate the Vintners Guild very deeply. Seems like the old leadership kept the winemakers at arm's length in their operations for some reason I'm not aware of. But if they did, it strikes a note of caution that maybe I want to follow suit.
We have heard
However-
that they are very serious about their security.
Yes, I think I'm beginning to see the same.
However, I do have one individual on my payroll that might be of use to you.
That would be.
That would be a sergeant of their security guard, a dwarf by the name of Kaz.
Cause spelled exactly how?
Khaz.
Thank you.
If you were to bring him a jellied lime tart with whipped cream and black sesame seeds on top, he will know that I sent you.
Appreciate that. Do you happen to have one in the shop in front?
You can ask Greco to make one up for you.
All right, I appreciate it.
Do me a favor and don't tell him what it's for.
I won't.
No problem.
He likes to also stay at arm's length for these sorts of things.
Understandable.
He's turned over a new leaf, and frankly, I like it that way.
So does Foodle.
Whatever. She does
must-
not give a crap what Foodle
Yeah.
likes or doesn't like.
Oh,
Well, thank you.
best of luck with things. And then she knows that this is not a person who appreciates long goodbyes.
Yep. She puts her, as you leave, she doesn't pay you any second mind. She puts her reading glasses back on and goes back to scrawling on her scroll. And you get your pastry from Findlebeak. He is more than happy to provide that for you. No questions asked.
Okay.
They'll probably ask for a couple other ones just to make it a little more variety as who.
Yes.
Right.
Yep. And he gives them and your Pete's pie for Roshan on the house.
Cool. All right. So then after we go see her, I mean, are we trying to find this guard right away, or are we gonna like go back home?
Well,
I think we should go
he's
back. He's
on-
a guard,
on
like
the
on duty.
compound.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's
Right.
just gonna be a
Yeah.
as we go there.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so we would like to go back to the house, I think, and then talk to Foodle's family about, or maybe Foodle's mom, who will orchestrate, about potentially having their somebody around there monitoring the property, just
Okay.
for the comings and goings and stuff of guards and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yep. You can do that. Like we don't need to play
Right?
that out.
No. Yeah, just that's.
Um,
yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Monster always enjoys finding stuff for them to do.
They're a handy little troop to have about.
Yep. It actually is pretty nice to have somebody living 24/7 at at your player
the
home
house, yeah.
who can keep an eye on stuff.
Right?
I know that Peter wants it to be Peter the butler, but he
We have our
exists
own-
sadly
But
in
we have the
another
Shepard-
world.
We have the Shepard family.
We have our own gnome army.
Yeah.
Ah, my little pretties.
Yes.
They're like the Harfoots from
You're right.
from the Rings of Power.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, I think they'll chill until whenever it is that the interview's supposed to
Okay.
happen.
Yeah. And so you have a couple interviews the next day. 3 of them, in fact, with Mama Shepin's short list. The first 2 are pretty underwhelming. The one individual is obviously somebody who really padded their resume, and they got one over on Mama Shepin because she is just as trusting as Foodle is. And so, when this person said, "Oh yeah, I was a servant of the king, and before I was a servant of the king, I was like, I served the emperor of Volcania," and well, Mama Shepin was like, "Oh," and when this guy tries it on you, Mazra, you're just like, "No, you lie.
Get out of my house.
Yeah. And the second one was an older gentleman who basically had a lot of experience, but had a laundry list of, I don't pour drinks myself, I don't clean, I don't do this, I don't do this, I don't on the job, and that just kind of leaves you feeling not too great about that. The third person to show up for the interview is a little tiny fairy.
No.
He's with fiery red long hair, with some streaks of orange and yellow in it, tied back into a well-groomed ponytail. And wears a dress tunic with pants, shoes, and a vest with a necktie in bold colors and patterns of like purple and gold and green.
So Mardi Gras.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And as he sort of flitters into your room, he kind of perches on the edge of the table where you've met him, and he holds up one small hand to you. "The name's Syrian, at your service.
Oh,
May I ask
so,
your names?"
I don't know how big they are actually, but
This big, let's say.
it's like 2 fingers.
Yeah.
Masra, Kiona.
Mazra and Kiona.
No,
I don't think that's the thing we should say, right? Yeah. Okay.
Well, I see I've got a pair of smooth operators here. You know what you're doing. Well, I must say, although I am a child of the Feywild, I've left that place a very long time ago. I'm not too interested in playing those sorts of tricks and japes anymore.
I should hope not if you want to work here.
Yes, of course not. Besides, I already know your names. The kindly old gnome lady offered them to me. She also said thank you quite a few times, which she's not supposed to do that either.
Yeah, the Shepin family needs a little bit of help learning these things, I think.
They do indeed. I hope none of them ever wander into the Forest of Lost Shoes. But I'm not about that business. Oh no, old Syrian isn't about that at all. I prefer to collect not all this hoity-toity, wishy-washy things like memories and feelings and whatnot. I don't care about that. I like the gold. Mm-hmm. And I see you wagging a finger at Mazra. In you, I think I can find a kindred spirit.
If you can do the job well and fit the job descriptions, I pay very generously. But I have very high standards.
And the chance to meet your standards is all that I ask for.
Very well.
I would not expect it any other way. See, I'm the sort of fairy that likes to pull myself up by me own bootstraps, and unlike you non-winged folk, I can actually do that. And then he demonstrates doing exactly that with a little flutter of his wings.
Kiona will giggle. She
Mazra
likes
does not
him.
giggle, but Mazra doesn't giggle, but nor does she frown.
Well, I can see how you could be a fun lad to have around here.
I do indeed. I know. I of course am, as others have told me, well endowed with the gift of gab, as well as a natural proclivity towards making and managing money.
Indeed.
I think you shall find that I may deploy your physical and human capital to maximize your optimal profits at this fine establishment.
Appreciate that. I already have some plans in place.
As do I, as I take a look around my surroundings here. I take it you're a few days away from opening night, at least.
Yes. There's a better preparation to be done.
May I review your plans for myself and potentially offer some of my own suggestions? It is going to be my first time managing a tavern all by myself, but I do have experience at a number of local venues that have been quite successful as a
Which
junior
venues,
manager.
by chance?
Well, I did do a stint at Chez Grazd until the fine young lady behind the bar decided that she did not appreciate my particular sense of humor.
What kind of sense of humor might that be?
Well, he wiggles his eyebrows.
I see.
Wouldn't happen to be a certain winged lady, would it be?
Indeed, the very same. I see that you've had some run-ins with her yourself.
A bit, and she glances over at Kiona.
Yes, well, she can
didn't
be quite contrary.
Tried to cut you in half with her fiery sword, did she?
She did, in fact, actually do just that.
Well, she did the same to me. And all I asked for were some simple measurements. Going a bit overboard, if you ask me.
Uh-huh. All right, well, what she'll, they have drawn up previous plans for, like, table placements, having an entertainment space, and, like, working with the kitchen and all of that stuff for the room.
Yep.
Food service and like ale.
Yeah.
And,
She'll see.
Yeah.
She's gonna try to find out if his ideas are compatible with theirs.
Yeah, and he has more ideas, not so much about like layout and things like that. Although he expresses approval for those plans, but what he offers are more about like, we're going to need this number of staff for this position and this number of staff for this position, and we should consider hiring master brewer once we have the money to do so. And here are some ideas for promotion and getting the word out. And of course, the advantage that sprinkling a little bit of fairy dust over every endeavor.
Oh well, we don't
May
need
bring
any
us.
of that there.
Are you sure?
I mean, every now and then, maybe sometimes, but not excessively.
I understand. I understand.
So,
Old Mr. Shayhart certainly did enjoy when I sprinkled the fairy dust around, but his companion did not. I'll tell you that much.
right. We would probably want some kind of happy medium there. I guess we could draw up a temporary contract as a trial basis.
Happy to do so.
Mazra?
I mean, I'm happy for you to do so, of course. It sounds a little bit ridiculous for me to write my own contract. Although, if you would allow me to.
No, I believe Mazra will be writing your contract.
Indeed.
Ah, very well. When should I expect a draft contract to be drafted?
Do we have out of character? Do we have a plan of when we're opening this, or it's so like within like the next like?
That is for
Okay.
you two and Collie to
Yeah, I
discuss.
was gonna say we would want to discuss that with Flumps. So
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like
I would say within the next couple days.
Very well. Then I shall return within the next couple of days. And he doffs a imaginary hat and with a flourish bows and takes off back out of the tavern.
Okay.
Leaving a little trail of sparkles behind him.
I like him.
He seems knowledgeable.
He does seem to have an idea of how to run a place like this.
Indeed, we need someone competent if we're not here all the time.
But we might need somebody, somebody a little bit more keen than Foodle's mom to keep an eye on the place.
Probably, but maybe he has some suggestions on security.
Well, we might want to find our own security.
Fair. We'll ask around.
Remember that guy that went with us for the Hydra?
Let's see if he's still in town.
Yeah.
Good dude.
I recall wanting him on our staff
Good
full time
dude.
before. I wanted him to.
Fiona remembers wanting him in a sentence.
No, he was so good. He would remember.
Megan
that
says
Hydra.
Foodle. Foodle, that guy that went with us to the Hydra.
No, that we had
Remember-
hired an
do
extra
you
guy
remember-
that time.
Simon.
Wasn't there-
Simon.
Yeah,
we
it's Simon.
did. We hired
But,
a dude.
But it's like, remember that we used to have this like short guy
Right?
that ran around with us?
We've been watching.
remember.
We've been
Was
talking
it-
to so many
was it
short
a
people
child?
today.
Was it a child or just a short person?
So yeah, so that's something we should put a note in, put a pin in for hiring Simon as a guard for the house.
If
Of
we
some sort.
hire Simon as a guard, I want him and Masha to have a conversation where they just sit and stare at each other for like an hour.
And then Mazur's like, "You're hired."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Syrian. How did we spell Syrian?
Cirian.
Okay.
It's supposed to be Celtic, so maybe it's Kyrian or something like that.
Yeah. Like Sierran almost, or
Oh,
Yeah.
it's probably
So I
like
think-
Kieran.
Something like that, yeah.
Kieran.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'll ask Flannel. This is a character that Flannel created for us. So I'll ask him if it's a hard C or a soft C. But now that I've actually done it and established his name as Syrian, now that I think about it, I'm thinking actually it's probably a hard C. So You know what, folks, and I think we're 20 minutes near to the end of our scheduled end time, and I feel like we're pretty much ready to move on to the next thing,
right?
and we
With
Yep,
the caveat
and we definitely
that there
want
may be a
Flumps
thing
with
that
us.
Flumps, first of all, Flumps
Right.
needs to be with us when we do the thing, but
And
there may
I
also be a
think,
thing that Flumps. I don't know. Maybe not.
yeah. Well, and I think the idea too is that we need before we go, we need to make like a plan of approach, and we
Right.
want him to be there for that too.
Right.
So
For sure. Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I mean. I
And that is something that I would encourage you guys to also talk about like off stream as well.
Sure.
right,
yeah.
right.
It might be useful.
I won't be here next week. I'm sorry. you
Oh
guys.
shoot!
No. No. I know I read it. But no.
No, I'm sorry.
It's time for
I
another
didn't realize that
Shepard and
was a
Greenstone
Tuesday, right?
detective agency.
It's gonna be
Chapman
amazing.
Greenstone Detective Agency. I'm not
Genovia,
I'm not
thank you
sure.
So much. You're amazing.
I'm not sure
Jack,
if
enjoy this
or
out.
how. Yeah. I'm not sure if or how I can delay the
Right.
sneaking in for another week.
I know.
We were supposed to be there by now.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm so sorry.
but
Well, because if last week
unfortunately-
hadn't been as much of
Well,
a
yeah.
flop, then
Yeah. Yeah,
But
it
Flumps
wouldn't
isn't
be
here anyway.
it wouldn't be an issue for next week.
right.
But yeah. I don't know. So I'm going to try to I don't know. Well, we'll figure something out. I
Yeah.
don't want you to miss anything, and it's
I know.
it's not fair.
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Hopefully, this will be the last one for a long time.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
all else fails, we could
Yeah.
we could do like a world building stream or something like, or whatever.
We
but-
could do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you and Collie could do something that's not live play, and then maybe but looking at like my Saturdays, holy,
Oh yeah, to do a long stream.
definitely. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think we
Maybe.
were thinking over the holidays, but so we have a little time to. think
Which
about it.
that's gonna be a little bit challenging
Yeah,
for
'cause
me.
y'all are
I wanna
traveling.
talk to you guys. Yeah, we
Yeah.
are traveling. So I know that officially our anniversary date for this campaign is December 23rd, but I
Oh.
will be, I will be missing that. I will not
Right.
be
Christmas
around
Day. Let's
that
go.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be around on Christmas Day either. I'll tell you
Right,
that.
right.
Yeah, Megan and I are gonna be in Ontario visiting my folks.
Mhm.
So if we're gonna do something for the second anniversary of this campaign, it'll have to be like off date.
Right.
But either way, that is something that we can all talk about in our private group chats, and we can talk about it in the for the folks in chat here, we could talk about it on our Discords and whatnot.
Sure.
Could we do a shout out for all the players in the campaign, so that if you want to catch the next session, that should be
I
on
don't know what
the
I
Collie
have.
Flumps channel.
There it is.
We hope.
I never changed.
There it is. Yep. We should be on the Collie Flumps channel next week, assuming that Collie Flumps is able to join us next week. I
And
certainly hope
of
so.
love, chat.
More for his sake than for anything else, because he has been unwell for a very long time, and we want him to recover.
Yeah, we really need him to get better. You guys, send all the
Yeah.
positive energy out to Flumps. All the healing
Yeah.
stuff.
And as always, thank you everybody for joining us. Who are we gonna raid
Do we
tonight?
have a raid?
I see Jinto doing Penco Park. I see Squanchy playing Valheim. I know that Valheim is something that the regular Flutterdie users will.
Yeah, I did just raid Squanchy like last night or the night before.
Oh, okay.
Doing Valheim. Joe is
And
on
Squanchy,
Mind.
I haven't watched any of Squanchy's Valheim
Oh,
streams,
yeah.
but I remember from when Squanchy was on the community server with us, way ages past,
that he did all sorts of like wacky experimental stuff that I really appreciated.
Doing some great building these days. I was looking at the other night, so
Yeah, really.
yeah.
God, I want to get back into that game. There's so many games that I want to
It
like
is
circle
Yeah.
back
so
to
fun. Yeah.
that I just don't have time for. But I really want to get back into that one.
Right. All right. Well, let's. You know what? You are on that, so let's do it. Why not? Let's do the Squanchy raid.
Heck yeah. Oh, I should not have closed that window.
Don't you love that? So we're gonna pass a raid on to Squanchy, you guys. Squanchy has been
Oh my
with us
gosh.
forever, actually.
Squanchy is a community stalwart. He recently started streaming, but he's been around forever.
Right. Forever.
Just supporting all the homies in this community, and now it's our turn to support him.
And we got a raid message with the two things there.
We got a D&D raid. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
All right, friends. Hope everybody has a good night. Catch us next time, provisionally on the Cauliflumps channel.
Yeah. Oh, we love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Bye.
Oh, he's fighting the bone ass.
Is he actually?
Yeah.